Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be using dual forms with non-sticky builder gel for the first time. I purchased these dual forms from Sundara Nails. I have been seeing them since they released and I just have not grabbed them because I had some dual forms, but the ones that I have really just are not my favorite. These come with 4 different shapes. I'm just showing you the shapes right now that they come with. This, I think, is like the Russian style. I'm not a fan of this shape, so I mean, I probably would not use this shape. Either one of them. I mean, I may try eventually just to like play around with them, but it comes with the 4 shapes, and it comes with the silicone parts to make like French designs as well. Look at how big that thumb is. That's a size 1. So if you have big thumbs, these would definitely work for you because, I mean, I think that the 0 would probably fit my big toe. So, then I usually use a 0 when I'm using like forms and stuff. So, I'm going to use the stiletto ones because I like stiletto. I like a tapered square. I like a coffin. Those are like my go-to shapes. I don't generally do a square, but I might do square next time. But I'm going to use the stiletto ones today. And then the kit comes with these silicone pieces so that you can do like a French tip design on the dual form and like make your built nails a French design, which I do plan on playing with, but not today. So that's what comes in this dual form and silicone guide kit. I'm going to be using this non-sticky builder gel. I think you say it Delphinium, and here's a picture of the flower. I think that the color is so pretty. Like, I love the color of this non-sticky builder gel. Now, non-sticky builder gel can be used to build extensions. It can be used to adhere your soft jelly tips. It can be used to make 3D designs. There are just a bunch of different ways to use it. I mean, I can also use it like when I'm doing a design on a nail. I could do like a 3D design and then put a rhinestone or a gem inside of it and it will still hold it as well. The consistency is pretty thick, so they can get runny when they get warm. So if it's just a little bit runnier than you'd like, throw it in the fridge for about 10 minutes and it'll get the consistency that you need to work with it. All right, I went ahead and I grabbed out my sizes, and what I did with my sizes is you see the bigger nail the nail dual form, I already fit them to my cuticle line. Oh, also I'm going to be using rubber base gel and no wipe top coat. I'm also going to be using a regular gel base coat as well. I'm also going to use a peel base because this is my first time and I wanted to be able to take them off easy if it went totally sideways because I've never done this before and I wanted to be able to remove them easily. I'm also going to be using this silicone tool. This is also from Sundara. They have little silicone tools to help with not touching your gels. I like this one, but I also like the bigger ones you can get like on Amazon that are like the double-ended because those work really well also. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get the peel base put on my thumbnail. I'm going to start with my thumbnail and I'm only going to do one nail at a time. This is literally my first time ever trying this, and I wanted to just do the one thumb or the one nail just because I'm like, I really just want to see how this goes before I record the whole video. So I wipe my nail off with isopropyl alcohol. I do have a layer of rubber base on my natural nails because that's just how I like to keep my natural nails protected. I like to keep a layer of rubber base gel on them just because I feel like that keeps them protected, and when if I have to file off or anything like that or anything, it won't like rip my nail off. So my preference is to keep a rubber base gel on my nails. And it also gives the peely base a flat surface to stick to because they like flat shiny surfaces. Well, this particular gel does to peel off correctly. So I will place this peely base on my entire nail, cured for 60 seconds, and then when I pull my nail out, I'm going to put a gel base coat on, and then I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds, and then we'll be ready to go. But back to what I was saying about the dual forms. So with the dual forms, when you're sizing them out, you don't want to fit them like you would a gel tip. You don't want them to be exact fitting sidewall to sidewall, because if you do that, then you leave no room for the extension gel to fill in the area and give you that beautiful extension. So you want the dual forms to be just a smidge bigger. I'd say maybe just one size bigger than your regular fitting perfectly size. And I found that to be great. I sized these out that way, and then after I sized them out that way, what I did was I shaped the ends of the dual forms to fit my cuticle line. I'm not going to be using this specific set on anybody else. I mean, I really don't do anybody else's nails, so I mean, why not just shape them to fit my nails? So I went ahead and before the video, I shaped the edges, the cuticle line, the sidewalls. I shaped them to my liking of my own cuticle line, so that when I went ahead and I went and did the placing of the gel and stuff, it worked out perfect. So now what I'm doing is I'm just wiping the inside of the dual form out with some isopropyl alcohol, and I'm going to actually use the dual form as the sticky, as the like the scooper. So I do that with the thumb. I think I do it with a couple of other ones, but I wanted to see if it would work, and it worked fine. All right, so now we're going to get into pushing the non-sticky builder gel around, and I am using isopropyl alcohol because you see how the non-sticky just stuck to my silicone tool. I have alcohol in my container off to the side, and I'm just using that as my slip solution so that my tool doesn't get stuck to my non-sticky builder gel. Now, non-sticky doesn't mean it like doesn't stick. It just means it's less runny. It's not as sticky and free running as like builder gel in a bottle or builder gel in a pot. It's like clay, I guess you could say, like Play-Doh, like clay. It's got a really thick consistency, like it's like a solid nail glue, but it's builder gel. So it gives you a super strong extension. And I also found that when I was doing this, I did not need quite as much because I got like a decently long extension. But also you're going to want to make sure, this part is really important, make sure that you get the non-sticky builder gel all the way to both sides. You want to fill up the form completely on the edges, because if you don't put it all the way to the edges on the sidewall, then when you go to take the form off, there's going to be no structure there. So any part that you will have missed with the non-sticky builder gel on the edges, it will be compromised, I guess you could say, for that initial application. You will have to go back and fix it using another little bead of non-sticky builder gel and just kind of filling in the gap, or regular builder gel, or whatever your preference may be to fix it. So you just got to make sure that you're paying attention to the sidewalls. So another thing is to pay attention to is when you are doing the cuticle line, you don't want the cuticle line to be so thick. You kind of want to make the cuticle line thinner than the rest of it, like pressing up from the cuticle line, but you don't want to do it so much that you're removing the product from there, because you still obviously want product down there. But making it thinner helps with filing at the end. As you'll see, when I remove this dual form, I was like shocked at how this was going. Like I was amazed at how easy it was. And to think that I was so nervous to try it, like I can't even fathom that now. I was just so nervous. That's why I hadn't made a video of doing this until now, because I was just so nervous about trying something new. But like I've mentioned earlier in a few videos, I am trying to do things new that I haven't done, that people have been asking me for, and I'm just like, I'll get to it. But this is one of those things, and I was shocked at how easy it was. So I went ahead and I pressed the dual form on my nail. So when we made the dual form just a little bit bigger, people are asking about me, how hard do you press the dual form on? Now you don't want to push it down so hard that it's like uncomfortable, but you remember how we made the dual form just a little bit bigger than our nail? You want to push the dual form down until it forms like a gel tip would to your nail. You want to push it down to where the side of the dual form reaches from sidewall to sidewall and it's all the way flush at your cuticle line. Now it's not a lot, of pressure, but you'll kind of like feel what it's like when you start to get to pushing on it. So you'll kind of get how it feels. But after that, you just want to flip your nail over like I did and make sure that all of the runoff, I guess, or the push out from underneath is kind of wiped away from the free edge of your skin from your fingertip, and then just kind of like press it down and like mold it up into the nail itself. And then make sure the nail is on straight. Make sure nothing is really touching your skin, because you really want to try your best to not touch your skin, not touch the gel. I know that I set a bad example a couple of times touching the gel in the video, but you really just, even though it's HEMA free, you really want to try to not touch any gel ever. Sometimes I just literally cannot help myself, and I don't know why that is, but I've got a really fun tape coming that I've seen a lot of people use that I want to try out, that should help me when I go to doing stuff like this. But just try your best to not touch the gel. And then I did find that one of these cuticle sticks, these orange wood sticks, helps to remove the excess gel from the skin. And after I do that, I make sure that the nail tip is straight, and I put it in the lamp for 60 seconds. I go ahead and I put that thing in there, and I was just shocked at how easy that was. Like, I left that in real time. That's literally how long it took me to do it. We're at about 11 and a half minutes total for it, and that's with me showing everything. So it obviously took less than 10 minutes for the one nail, but with my first time trying that out, I was shocked. Now, I was like kind of struggling here for a little bit. I went ahead and put my nail in the lamp, and now I'm trying to take the dual form off, and I was like, did I do something wrong? Because it was sticking. But once I got it off, I was shocked. The cuticle line, y'all see how much of like no bump there is at the bottom, and the sidewalls look great, and it just like the edge is a little bit funky, but I don't really mind that, because I'm going to file the edges and I'm going to cut the tip, the free edge down. So I was like, wow. But also it's going to come with a tacky layer, because Builder Gel has a tacky layer. Make sure you just wipe it off with some alcohol and a lint-free wipe. Make sure you just wipe it really good and wipe the underside as well, just so you're wiping all of it off before you file, because if you filed the sticky, it's going to get on your file and it will just kind of mess it up. So I was just comparing the length to the nails I have on my other hand. Yes, I do have an almond, and yes, my hands still don't match to this date of this video going up. I still have tapered square on one hand and almond on the other. I felt like a tapered square is the easiest shape for me to do. I don't like a straight square, but then again, coffin is a little bit harder for me to file. So the easiest shape for me to file, and a shape that I've been wanting to try out, is a tapered square. So that's why I went with tapered square. No other reason other than that's one of the easiest shapes for me, and I wanted to try it out. So you could do whatever shape you want to do, but I wanted to keep it easy on myself, and I really didn't want to have to do a whole lot of filing. And since the shape of the dual form was a stiletto, it already gives me that tapered square look. I could have went for a coffin, but all that meant was just more filing. So right now I'm just taking my hand file, and I'm just kind of like going around the sides, going around the side walls, just kind of like evening it out. I don't really go along the cuticle line too much with my hand file, because I've found that if I do that, I tend to cut myself a little bit more. So I like to go around my cuticle line with my skinny mini mandrel bit. I used a 150 grit for this set. I use a 240 when I'm doing my natural nails. If I'm using my mandrel bit on there, I save the 240 grit for that. But I use usually a 150 or a 180 if I'm doing any kind of filing around my cuticle line. I generally don't go lower than that, because I don't need to go lower than that. That's plenty of grit to handle what I need to handle. So I do a little bit of filing at the cuticle line, but getting down into it, I use my mandrel bit, which I'm going to show you now. Now, I only show all of the filing and shaping with my thumbnail, because I do feel like it's repetitive and you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. I really wanted to focus on the non-sticky Builder Gel application part for this video, but I do show me applying all of those nails. So I am putting on, I know that pink part needed to be lower, but I wasn't paying attention when I was doing this, so it'll be okay. It helps keep the dust out of your e-file. Excuse me, so it needs to be lower. The wind just kicked up a lot of stuff. All right, so I'm going to file. I've got my e-file on about 4 or 5,000 RPMs just because I'm cleaning up that cuticle line just to make it look a little more flush. I'll do the sidewalls just a little bit just to kind of get like that good arch going on. And then I'll take the shine off because I am going to be putting the rubber base gel and the top coat on. Now, the only reason I'm using the rubber base gel on top of the extension is just to give it that little bit extra security of strength. Like, it doesn't need it because it's builder gel, but I like to put it on top of the extension. I like to put it on top of gel extensions just to give it that something extra. I mean, it's not necessary, but I mean, I'm really rough with my hands. So I like to give it just something a little bit extra. So rubber base gel does do that. So now that I've got everything e-filed, I'm going to wipe my nail off with alcohol, and I'm going to just like investigate the length, the shape, see where we are, see if I want to cut it down just a little bit. And I was like, you know, it's just a little bit longer because I'm trying to keep them at least the same length, even though they're not the same shape. I'm trying to keep them the same length. So I just decided that I was going to file it down just a little bit. And then I was like, okay, so the underneath part was looking kind of like wonky. I don't like necessarily a deep C curve on my nails, but I like them to not be flat at the edge, like flush. I don't like it to be just like a straight line and like completely filled underneath. So I was like, you know what? Let's take the e-file, let's take the mandrel bit, and let's shape out under the nail. So it has like a nice curve. It's not super sharp. Because I mean, the curve is already going to be there. And I don't know. I don't like the end being filled out. So it's like a semicircle. I don't like that being filled in. So after I got done with this part, I shaped up my edges just a little bit, tapered them in just a little bit more. And then I was like, let's take this and we're going to go on the underside. I'm so sorry this is like out of focus. I tried to be as in focus at a good angle as I could so y'all could really see what I was doing. All I'm really doing is trying to get that curve to be really nice underneath and thinning out underneath of the nail so that it is not so thick under there. Just trying to make like a nice, pretty looking extension. And I make it pretty for myself. Like, I don't do anybody else's nails, like I said, but I just want to try to make it perfect for me because, I mean, I like my nails to look nice. And if I'm going to do them, why not try my best? Even with it being my first time, why not just try? I kept telling myself, you put peel base on. If you don't like it, just take it off. So I decided to finish that. I got it all fixed up. I wiped it off with alcohol, and I was very, very shocked. I was like, okay, here we are. We're all finished. Here we are. I went ahead and put the rubber base on, and then I just filed the top and refiled it again. So I didn't show that part, but I already put the rubber base on. I refiled it. That's what like the cut in the clip was. So now I'm ready for my top coat. I filed off the shine, and now I'm just going to put my top coat on, and then that's it. That's it for that nail. So that nail is completely finished, and I was shocked. My first non-sticky builder gel with a dual form nail. First nail with non-sticky builder gel and a dual form. Yeah, that's how you say it. So I was just like, okay, that gave me the confidence, and I was like, I can do this. But that nail took me a good bit of time, and I was like, okay, so I could have done my entire hand if I would have just used Gel X. I'm sitting outside doing this recording, and the wind keeps blowing up all kinds of stuff because we just had a nasty storm. So it's like blowing up everything. All right, so now I'm just making sure that I'm wiping the gel top coat off because I don't want the gel top coat on my nail. It's on my skin itself, and then I'm going to finally cure it. Now we are all done with that one nail, and I was very, very happy, very pleasantly surprised. And look at how beautiful that non-sticky builder gel color is. I still stare at it. It's so pretty. It's blue. It's got the colors in it. And then look at that curve. It's not, so I left it a little bit thicker because I am a little bit hard on my nails, and I planned on just wearing this by itself. I did cover it up with a little bit of gel polish once, but most of the time I've been wearing the builder gel by itself just to kind of test it, and it is really strong. They're really sturdy. So I went ahead and I put peel base on the rest of my nails, and now I'm going to put a gel base on them. Everything's cured. Now we're ready to start this extension. Now I am going to let y'all watch this because I do the same thing as I did before, and sometimes people just like to watch the video. The one thing I am going to say is please try not to touch the extension gel with your hands. Like, please just try your best to not. I'm trying my best to not do it, but sometimes the day just gets, the moment just gets away from me, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I did it. So I really try when I realize that I'm doing that, I try to not do that. But you'll see me touch it a few times. Just, if you learn anything really from this, please don't touch the gel. Please don't touch the gel. Now, long-term touching of the gel can lead to contact dermatitis or allergies of some kind. So I try to make this as informative as possible and as precise and perfect as I can. But this channel is where it's all real. I keep it as real as I can. I never lie to y'all. I'm always honest in my opinions, the products I use, what I'm doing. I try to keep it real relatable because I'm not a nail tech. I didn't go to school. I taught myself everything. I have never paid for any classes or anything like that. I just watch a lot of videos, do a lot of research, and I've learned everything on my own. So if you're just starting out for doing your own nails, or you just do your own nails, I mean, that's what I started my channel for, is just to help the at-home DIY ladies a little bit with what I've learned and put it all in one place so that y'all can see what I do and how I do it, just to help out. I really started this channel with no hopes of it ever growing, just hopes for helping the people out that would message me so that I could send them videos so that they could learn visually, because that's how I learn. So I really do hope that you enjoy my channel. I hope that you enjoy this video. If you have any questions about my process or any questions about anything, you can leave them in the comments. If you don't feel comfortable leaving them in the comments, you can message me on Instagram. You can email me, which I left it below for you. You can really just contact me either way. But I will hush now, and I will let you guys watch this, and I will come back at the end with my final thoughts. Alright, so we have made it all the way to the pinky, and I thought that I would try using this nail tip stand to help me hold the pinky since it's just a little bit smaller. Sometimes it's just really hard to hold that pinky nail. The tape I had put on just like wasn't strong enough, and I just didn't have like the time to go ahead and like put a different piece of tape on there. Because I usually use like double-sided tape, but this is like my third use of that one, so it was ready for a new piece, and I just didn't have the fingers, I guess you could say, to do the rest of it, or to put a new piece of tape on there since I had the dual forms on the rest of the nails, so it just wasn't really sticking right. But I feel like if it would have had that fresh piece of tape, it would have worked out like really great. So I wanted to come back on and just let y'all know that it is a little bit easier if you use the stand for the smaller pinky nail. And y'all, the sky opened up again, so the storm is not passed yet. I guess it's supposed to be severe flooding today again, but I hope it's not overwhelmingly loud in the background. I hope it's just as a nice soothing rain sound for y'all, because I mean, it's not too bad, but it's just loud. But I am putting the nail on. This is my last one. I was very pleasantly surprised. I did all 4 of the rest of my fingers in the same amount of time it took me to do my thumb, basically. So I was really shocked at how easy it was overall. And like I said, it's just really trial and error. Like, I've just was so scared to try it and so nervous that I was going to mess up that I like put it off forever, it seems. Because I've had non-sticky builder gel and I've been using it since last fall, and I just use it to apply my tips, but I wanted to build the nails with it. So I put the nails in the lamp for 60 seconds, gave them a full cure, and now it's time to pull off the dual forms. Now, I was struggling pulling them off a little bit just because like I didn't want to pull too hard and like rip the extension off or anything like that. So it did take me a little second to get them off, but they do come off. You just got to wiggle them side to side. And I mean, the longer your extension is, the less free room you have on the dual form itself as well. So it's just all about just wiggling it off. It does come off. I also didn't wipe. I did wipe these ones with alcohol, but I didn't show it on there. But I didn't want to break the extension, like slide the cuticle tool in there and like nick the extension and like make a dent or anything like that. But I mean, they do come off. See, like they're fairly easy to pop off. And I thought it was really fun. I had a good time doing it, and I plan on doing it again. I have some really fun color combinations coming up. This is like a really nice way to just have your nails done and have them built and have them sturdy, and then also have super fun colors, because I know Sundara has a bunch of super fun colors. They have thermals, and then they have glitters, they have solid colors, they have a chrome looking one as well. So just stay tuned for some fun stuff that I plan on doing with these extensions. Dual form's probably my new favorite way. And like if you look at the cuticle line with the way that I did them, there's not even that super huge like hump that a lot of people talk about. If you pay attention to the cuticle line and all of the shaping and stuff before you're putting your hand in the lamp, then you don't really have to worry about that at the end, because there's honestly not a whole lot of shaping I had to do with them. But I'm just wiping them off with alcohol, and then they look pretty good, like so far. And then what I was doing was I was like, okay, how long do I really want them to be? And then I just clipped them down with my nail clippers, because I kind of wanted them to be the same length as the thumb. And then after that, I shaped them and everything, but I mean, they don't look too bad. Like, that's just popping the dual form off. I haven't done anything to them except wipe them off. Now I'm just going to cut them down just to a little bit of a length, try to get them kind of even, because, I mean, if you do it pretty smooth, then you should just be able to cut the tip off a little bit and then file the sides and get the shape that you want. So all it's really left to do is to shape them, and I do that off camera, like I said, because I just feel like I showed you the thumb in its entirety, and this isn't really about the shaping of them, though. I mean, I will throw that in if y'all want to see that in another video. But now I'm just kind of getting them to the same length, and then I'm going to file and shape them and fix them up off camera, and then I will come back after I have filed them and shaped them and got them all top coated so that y'all can see the final result. so I had to come inside because the rain got too bad, but now I am all finished. Here is what the final result looks like. I cut my pinky. I'd cut my pinky there every time. I just need to figure out how to not do that. But I also wanted to show y'all that I did get a few bubbles in the non-sticky builder gel when I was manipulating it into the dual form. I'm going to work on fixing that for next time so that it is not as bad. I only got a few bubbles, but they're in places where it shouldn't compromise the integrity. I haven't had any problems. I've had this on for about 5 days now before doing this voiceover, and I've had absolutely no problems with them. I love them. They are nice. They are strong. They are so pretty. This is just in the flash. I do throw a video in at the very end of an outside look in the sun. They just shine so pretty. And I just think that overall it was like a really good experience. On my hands it's just a lot of cuticle oil and lotion because they needed it so bad. Also, while I was doing this part, I kind of noticed that my ring finger was just like a little bit longer than the rest of them. So that was going to bother me, and I already knew it was going to bother me. So I decided to go ahead and leave the fixing of this finger on camera for y'all. So quick fix for this. All I do is I take my nail tip clippers and just cut a little bit off, and then I file down the nail back to shape a little bit, and that's it. And then I just wipe off the dust that it left. So when I top coated these nails, I also top coated the underside because I wanted them to not be looking like crazy and dirty and stuff, because they're like a semi-clear. I guess they're clear, but they have glitter in them, so I guess it's not as easy to see if they get dirty under there, but I don't like having my nails look dirty underneath, so I always top coat underneath, and I think they turned out really, really well. I do plan on doing this again, but I'm going to do this, and I'm going to use my non-dominant hand to do it. I don't know about doing a different shape yet. I don't know if I'm there yet, but I do plan on doing it again because I just thought it was super easy. Now, was I nervous to try it? Yes. Did I put peel base underneath in case I messed up? Also yes. But all in all, I had a really good experience. I really hope that you guys learned something. I hope that this gave you a lot of tips and tricks and was very easy to follow so that you're able to do it if you've ever been wanting to try. So stay tuned for my future videos. I have some more that I want to try out, some more tips and tricks and stuff I'm going to try with this. But thank you for spending some of your day with me. I really hope that you consider maybe subscribing, leave me a comment and let me know what part you liked the best, where if you learned something. But I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I will catch y'all in the next video.